But try as they might, they could not save Ekaette from the curse that had been woven into the very fabric of Ekaette's life. Because the curse was too heavy, it reads in part, "Cursed to die at childbirth." A long time ago, in the ancient village of IKPE, deep with diabolism, unknown culture, and fetish practices, there lived a young African girl named Ekaette, with eyes the color of the setting sun and a smile that could light up the darkest nights. Ekaette was beloved by all and sundry. But behind her beauty there lurked a shadow, a curse whispered by her own grandmother in a moment of rage, anger, and bitterness, had woven its tendrils around Ekaette's life, like a snake coiled around its prey. It all began in a sunny Saturday when the grandmother Ikwe returned from the village market one afternoon. Tired and weak, she left her purse that contained all the money she made from that day's sales on the floor and slipped off. Ekaette, in a rat-like manner, walked into the room, took the purse and ran away with the money to the neighboring village. When the grandmother finally woke up, she searched for the purse, but to no avail. She searched for Ekaette, but she was nowhere to be found. Out of anger and bitterness, she walked outside and stood before the scorching afternoon sun, tears running down her chin like the speed of a gully erosion, and placed a curse that reads in parts, "Cursed to die at childbirth." Thereafter, she sat down, still facing the dazzling sun, and gave up the ghost, unknowingly to Ekaette, leaving behind Ekaette and the weighty curse. As Ekaette grew, so did the weight of the curse upon her shoulders. The villagers watched her with weary eyes, fearing the darkness that seemed to cling to her very soul. However, despite their apprehension, Ekaette blossomed into a beautiful young woman, her laughter ringing through the village like the sweetest melody. But as fate would have it, Ekaette became pregnant before her time, an unprecedented occurrence. The news spread through the village like wildfire, filling the hearts of the villagers with dread. For they knew that the curse once dormant would awaken with a vengeance. As the days passed and Ekaette's belly swelled with life, the villagers, who were well engrossed with the tradition of the village, whispered of the horrors that awaited her. They spoke of the pain and suffering she would endure, cursed to die at childbirth, just as their grandmother had foretold. On a moonless night, as the village lay shrouded in darkness, Ekaette's labor began. The air was thick with fear as the women of the village gathered around her, trying to appease the grandmother to forgive Ekaette, her only granddaughter. Their voices trembling with trepidation. But try as they might, they could not save her from the curse that had been woven into the very fabric of Ekaette's life. Because the curse was too heavy, it read in part, "Cursed to die at childbirth." As the labor pains continued to increase in magnitude, Ekaette's mother, Imabong, took hold of her daughter's hand tightly in fear of losing her to the manifestation of the curse, her voice trembling with both awe and terror. "Imabong, I fear for our Ekaette," whispered an elder, her eyes wide with fear. "The curse that our grandmother spoke of, it is coming to pass." Imabong's heart clenched with dread as she watched her daughter writhe in agony, her cries echoing through the night like the lamentation of a wounded lion in jungle. Oh, the women of the village gathered around Ekaette, their voices rising in a chorus of prayers and pleas to the gods for mercy. But as the hours passed and Ekaette's strength waned, it became clear that the curse would not be easily undone. With a final agonizing scream, Ekaette drew her last breath, her life slipping away like grains of sand through an hourglass. And as the women wept for the loss of one so young, they knew that the darkness that had claimed Ekaette's life would linger in their hearts for generations to come. Oh, the mournful news spread around the village. The village fell silent, the weight of grief heavy upon their hearts. But in the stillness of the night, Imabon gazed up at the twinkling stars above, tears streaming down her face. Ekaette, my precious daughter, she whispered, her voice choked with sorrow. May your spirit find peace beyond the veil of this world, and may your memory live on in the hearts of those who loved you. And as the first light of dawn painted the sky in hues of grief and lamentation, the villagers gathered to mourn the untimely passing of one so young. For in the remote Nigerian village of Ipe, where the line between awe and terror blurred like the horizon at dusk, the tale of Ekaette will be told for generations to come. A cautionary reminder of the power of curses, youthful exuberances, and the fragility of life itself.